Hello YouTube, welcome to another build guide. In this case we're using a Fireball and Frozen Orb Sorc. I was asked to share this as they saw it on the stream and were just asking questions about it, so I figured I'd do a quick video. These are pretty easy to make and just show the build, what she's using, what her Merc is using, etc. And these are all suggestions, just as a warning. I'm not trying to say that this is the best build or that this build will smoke any other build out there. I'm simply saying that I'm using this build and that you can use it too if you choose to, and it's been working for me. I've been finding some decent items so far, a few Soges, couple 5BO helmets, Ondals, which is kind of okay, a few spiders, things like that. So without further ado, let's take a look at her skills. And as you can see in fire, obviously because it's a fireball Sorc, we maxed that out. I also maxed out Meteor and put a point into Fire Mastery, an additional point into Warmth for the mana regeneration. In Lightning skills, the only thing I did here was to get to Energy Shield, Teleport, and of course one into Static Field. And then Cold skills, we pretty much did what you'd expect, which is Frozen Orb maxed out and Cold Mastery maxed out. Now, you're kind of a hybrid Sorc, obviously. You're splitting your skills into two categories, so you're not going to have more than probably two on each side that you're going to use primarily. And I do suggest doing Fireball as well as maxing out something like Meteor. Meteor also hits pretty hard and pretty decently, especially when you have Fireball maxed out to go with that. So you could use either Meteor or Fireball if you want to, whichever ones you prefer. So let's take a look at what she's wearing. She's wearing an Isted Oculus, Mage Fists, Wisp to absorb that lightning, although I would prefer to have a 20 damage or 20 lightning absorb instead of 12, but it does work and it serves its purpose. Got an Arachnid Mesh, Stone of Jordan, 40% MF Travs, obviously I'll upgrade those when I can. Spirit, 33%, not the best, not the worst. Chains of Honor, and we have a Shaco with an Ist in it, as well as Mara's Kaleidoscope. On the Switch, it's pretty typical. You got a CTA, in this case a 6BO CTA, as well as another Spirit Monarch for the BO cast. So none of this is really abnormal. I would also like to say that you could run Talraja's set with this instead of what you see here, and I imagine it would be a lot cheaper because you don't need any high runes to create it. Such as the Chains of Honor, obviously you're going to have a bear and an Ist to create this, so if you're looking for something that is a little cheaper, Talraja's set would work with this just as good. You might actually hit harder with that set. I haven't actually went in and looked at it to see if it's better or not. And last but not least, our Mercenary, which is actually fairly poor right now. I have an Infinity because that's what I had. It works pretty good and it does decently for me, but there are a lot of other options out there that you could use. Remember, we're not a Lightning Sorc, so a lot of times this doesn't remove the immunities that fire and cold monsters have. And I do have it set to skip those monsters if I encounter them. I also have a stone, just a random stone. Obviously, I'll be upgrading this as soon as possible to an ethereal fort. And of course, we have Vampire Gaze. I'll probably be swapping that out with a better one pretty soon too. Like I said, he's not really wearing the best gear, but honestly, there's really not much reason for me to swap it out because they do fine for what I'm using them for. Now, where do I use this bot when I'm using it? Well, I use it in the pit, and that is in the Teom or Tamo Highland, however you say that word. I'm using this bot for Andariel, Duriel, and Mephisto. I don't run Chaos with her, although I could, and I don't run Bale with her. And the reason for this is those are a lot slower, and I have other bots doing it for me. I'm not saying you couldn't do those, you very well could. It wouldn't be that hard, but I choose not to. So I'm just letting you guys know, because a lot of people ask me, hey, what does your Sorc do versus mine, or whatever it is that they're looking for. So I hope this helped you out, guys. If it did, please leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.